Well, hello, friends. Welcome to another edition of Facebook Live with me, your friend, your host, your solid gold ally, Sarah Gaston. I don't know what I'm saying. It's Wednesday, and it's been a week. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Recently, someone made the suggestion that I open up with talking a little bit about these sorts of actor actions that I took for the week, because this is something that I always ask my students at the beginning of class. What sort of breakthroughs did you have? What sort of questions came up for you? What sort of realizations did you make? What sort of, actor actions did you take this week? And I, don't always get a ton of answers, and that's fine. That's totally okay. But when I was speaking to this person about this, he suggested to me. He said, "Well, you're always telling your students to take action, so why don't you maybe show them what that looks like?" And so I started to make a list of what I did in the past week and a half, 2 weeks, and so here's a few things that I did. I had a Zoom conference call to discuss the press strategy for a film that I was in. I attended a Women in Entertainment week or monthly phone call that I attend, where I get together with other women around the country who are active in the entertainment industry, just to kind of share ideas and talk about what we're up to, share if we need any help or support, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, it's a great group, and I'm just so privileged to be a part of it. We interviewed local filmmaker J.P. DiStefano about his fan film Halloween Night, and we're in the process of getting those interviews up and on the air. In fact, they might already be on the air. I don't know. I can't keep up. I do a lot of things. Let's see, I attended the first ever World Summit this weekend. So basically I spent 3 days in front of my computer for about 12 hours a day, learning about leadership and basically how to reach people and teach people. Anyway, it's more complex than I could ever go into on Zoom, on a Facebook Live. See, I'm calling it Zoom because I have Zoom brain. Anyway, and then I also did Main Street's BYO Bard, which it's just basically a Zoom entertainment. It's on a Monday night, and they have actors come in and do a favorite piece from Shakespeare. And let's see, I attended a free class with Margie Haber, whose studio I've studied at out in Los Angeles. So anyway, the reason I say all this is because there are always actions we can be taking to expand our education and to grow and to keep our skills up as actors, and to be networking and to be meeting people and to be finding other people who can support us on this journey. So hello, Joseph. Yes, Joe Grasaffi, it was a wise person. It was you. So thank you for that suggestion. So I thought a lot about what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. First of all, as always, please drop your questions in the comments section. And if there is ever just a topic you guys want me to cover, please feel free to also just drop it in the comments that, sometime I'd like you to talk about this, and I can talk about it at length. But one thing and I debated whether I wanted to talk to you guys about this, but I'm gonna bite the bullet and do it anyway. Because one of the topics that we talked about in this World Summit this weekend is letting people hear your story, so that they get that where they're coming from. And I think sometimes when I work with students, because I've been doing this so long, they think I just kind of rolled off the hay bale one day and I suddenly knew all this stuff. And really, it's been years and years and years of work and trying and failing and trying again to kind of get to the skill level that I have. And somebody asked last week why I decided to become an actress. So I'm going to start with that. So the way I became an actress is, looking back, I think I probably always was an actor. I mean, I was in plays and little choir performances, and I'd get picked for plays at school and at church because I was a good reader. And we would put on little talent shows and stuff in the backyard, and invite the parents in the neighborhood to watch us tump over a picnic bench and sing "Row, row, row your boat" behind the picnic bench because the jumped over seat was our boat. Anyway, but my friend said I'm going to take fine arts I'm going to take theater arts when we get to high school. And I didn't know what to take. I'd never had an elective before, so I said I'll take theater arts too. So I took theater arts, and hello Richard Hairston. And our very first assignment is we were given a stack of monologues from Edgar Lee Masters' Spoon River Anthology, and we were told to pick out a monologue, memorize it, and present it. And because I am the creature that I am, like, I went for it. I went straight home. I remember laying in the grass of the front yard and going through all of my monologues and picking out the one that I liked the best, which was The Village Atheist. And I memorized it, and I looked up all the words I didn't understand, and I put together a little costume, and I brought a broom as a prop, and I worked out some blocking where I jump up on this bench and then I throw down my broom, because I was real hardcore. Anyway, and the teacher was like, outstanding. And so after that, I was like, oh God, this is the thing for me, because I'd always been creative. I'd paint and I wrote and I was a performer. I played piano and I did gymnastics and all these things. But for me, acting brought together this creative side with this sort of intellectually curious side that I'd always had, because I always loved to read and to learn things. And so I decided that was it. I was going to be an actor. And was an actor all through high school. And for about a year and a half in college, I got away from it. I decided to be practical and have a psychology major, and that was miserable, and it had nothing to do with helping people, which is what I thought the point was. And so finally my roommate found a flyer for a student film for the UT film department, and she says, I'm tired of you talking about acting, you need to be acting. And she made me audition for it, and I got the part, and I never went back. That is, hello Mark Christian and Jim Solners. That is until college, or after college. So I majored in theater, and I just loved it, and I found my people, and I was back home, and everything was great until I graduated. And then when I graduated, I had no idea how to find a job as an actor. This is pre-internet. And so some personal stuff happened to me, and so I got kind of depressed, and anyway, I ended up moving home and got a job at an insurance company, and felt myself slowly going dead, going numb. And was in that job for about 6 years, and was, lived at home initially, and was hearing, my dad keep saying, you've got to do something practical, you've got to do something practical. And I kept hearing that message, but in my heart, I knew that this wasn't not right. It wasn't where I was meant to be. And I would literally lay in bed in the morning and think, is this what the rest of my life is going to be like? And in fact, one time I remember parking in the parking garage, on level 6 or something, and just walking into work that day, and it was an open air walkway, and I thought, what would happen if I just climbed over the edge? And so I was pretty depressed. And then the announcement came that they were dissolving our department, and they were laying everyone off because our department was disappearing, and we were all getting severance packages. And I realized that was life telling me, this is what I need to do. That was the choice I made. That was the meaning I put on it. And so unlike other people, I didn't scramble to go get another job right away. I hopped in the truck with my boyfriend at the time, and we drove around the country for 2 months, just exploring, the U.S. and Canada. And I came back, and I signed up for acting classes, and found a mentor, and was sent almost immediately to an agent who signed me that day. And 2 days later, I had my first paying acting job. And I say all that because the opposite of expression is depression. And so if you love this craft, I urge you, find a way to do it. right? Even on the smallest scale. And just have a piece of that dream. Have a piece of that dream. Because if you're like me, you will never ever really be content without it. I've been without it twice, and I was miserable. I wasn't whole. There was always something missing. And believe me, this is not a practical choice. This is not a practical choice. And if I loved anything else as much and could make a consistent living at it, because of course, you know, the world of acting is very erratic, I would do it, right? But I don't. And I've made peace with that. Now, let me be clear, for a long while, I had to have, bridge jobs, and I did temporary jobs, and I, did different things to make ends meet. But what I never did after that moment was go back to treating this part of myself like it was secondary or like it wasn't important. I crafted my life to work around my creativity and to support my creativity, rather than letting my creativity be something that, I pulled out of the closet and dusted off, once a year or something. Okay, so if you want to do this, do this. If you have no idea how to do it or what your next steps need to be, find a mentor. That's one of the reasons I realized, probably the only reason I became a coach, because, acting is still my primary love, but I hated that feeling of knowing I was meant to do this and feeling so trapped and miserable because I didn't have a guide. And so I am out there to find as many people as I can to be their guide, to help them figure out what they need to do next, come up with a plan so that they can begin to build their own version of this dream. Okay, well, now that I've bared my heart and soul, what questions do you guys have? Hello, Robin Jones. Hello, Craig Daly. I'm going to scroll scroll back through and see what questions have popped up, if any. Let's see. Okay, I don't see any questions, you guys. Does that mean no one has questions? Hello, Robin Jones. Hello, Craig Daly. Or is it that you were just so spellbound by my tale that now you have nothing to say? See, and this is what I do too, because I feel a little vulnerable because I share all that. I have to go back into like being silly and being funny. Anyway, let's see. I'm gonna just kind of tie up some loose ends and announce some stuff. So if you have questions, great. If not, then we can wrap it up. I am going to be announcing the winners to my Super Colossal Scholarship Contest later this week. I have a piece of asparagus from lunch left in my teeth. Let's see. I've got a bunch of new videos up on YouTube, so check them out. I'm always putting up videos either on my own or with Joe Grasaffi about the business, and I just put up one this past week, top 10 things actors do that blow things for them in the audition room. You might want to check it out. It's an entire conversation. I touched on these a couple of weeks ago in this very Facebook Live, but we talk about it a little bit more in depth with some stories, some tales from the field, if you will. And let's see, fixed the subscription area of my website. So if you indeed want to try to sign up for my email list, you can now do that, and I will actually get the information. I will be able to sign you up. And if you sign up for my email list, you just get information there that I don't send out anywhere else. Oh, another one of my students got cast in Twilight Los Angeles 1992, Misha L. So congratulations to her. That's very, very exciting. Let's see. I have a question here. What plays have you read that are dream projects, the stories you've always wanted to do but haven't yet? Oh, that's easy enough to answer. I really want to play Barbara in August Osage County. That is one I would love to do. That's the tip top. I would also like to do Anna from Closer. I may be technically a little too old for that role now, but it's still a part I would really, really love to do. So those are the top two that I can think of. I actually teach those plays a lot in class, so those are kind of in the forefront of my mind. Pardon me. Hello, Carlos. Welcome. Joseph Jones, which is the best headshot? Front, side, anything else, Sarah? I mean, we want to see both your eyeballs, right? So it shouldn't be a profile. It should be, some version of looking forward. Now, it doesn't mean you can't tilt your head. That's fine. But we don't want a profile, and we don't want, something like this, So, but here's the thing. Go to a headshot photographer, because a good headshot photographer will take the correct pictures of you. Let's see. Great question, Robin. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you guys. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, because you'll get the videos first, and there are some videos that I just put on there that I don't advertise. Subscribe to the email list, because you'll get information there that you won't get anywhere else. Let's see, and I guess check back in with me, every week for this Facebook Live. Take action this week, y'all. Take some massive action that you've been reluctant to take around acting, whether that means having a conversation with your agent because you're not getting the opportunities you want, calling that headshot photographer, or at least, researching headshot photographers that you think might work for you. Start that 10 minutes a day cold reading regimen, but just do something. Take some sort of action this week, because believe me, if you don't take control of your creativity, another year is going to pass, and you're going to go, oh, I wish I'd started. I wish I'd done something about that. Oh, last but not least, next week's Facebook Live is actually going to be at 11 o'clock. I'm going to make an exception just for next week. I'll put out an announcement about it. I have to do it a little bit earlier because I have a gig somewhere else. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. I wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay creative. Don't let what's happening in the world today grind out that special spark that keeps you creating just for the joy of it. Okay? I love you guys. Peace out.